This video is brought to you by soccerpro.com. Be sure to visit soccerpro.com for all the latest soccer gear at everyday low prices with no membership fees. Don't forget to use coupon code SR4U at checkout for $10 off a $75 purchase, plus free shipping within the US. Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com bringing you a comparison video between the Nike Mercurial Vapor 8 and the Adidas F50 adizero miCoach. These are probably two of the most popular shoes, or going to be the most popular shoes. The Mercurial Vapor 8 is still fairly new, but I have to say that the Vapors are definitely back and they've definitely changed. The adizeros have taken on that role as the best speed boot on the market, and for good reason. What they've managed to do with Adidas has managed to do with that shoe line is pretty impressive in creating such a lightweight shoe that still has a pretty solid feel. But the new Vapor 8 really is an impressive shoe. We'll start with the upper on these two shoes. The miCoach is available in two uppers. This right here I have is a synthetic version, which is a tad lighter, but nothing noticeable on your feet. I actually find the synthetic one to be a little bit nicer than the leather one. I just prefer the synthetic one this time around. I feel like the fit's a little bit better. But the upper itself is a single layer sprint skin material. The material itself wraps your foot decently well. I still think that they have some fit issues with the adizeros as far as getting that really sock-like, super tight fit, which I feel like a lightweight shoe should have. But the material itself, it's definitely not super soft. It's not stiff either. But you can see as it doesn't have it's not soft where it can just bend in one single area. When I do press down on the toe, you can see that the whole upper has to move in order for that to happen. So you're going to get the same thing when you do flex down on the shoe. So you're always going to have that empty space in the shoe. The shoe itself fits really well. There is some people complaining about heel slippage in this shoe, which is a little bit of an issue because of the fit. The heel tends to be a little bit wide. And the toe box, again, is a little bit roomy, in my opinion. Overall, though, the shoe fits really well. And if you do prefer that little leather front at the front, you can get a little bit more of a custom fit with that version of the shoe. Now, the Mercurial Vapor 8 uses a completely new Teijin synthetic upper, which is totally new. This is probably the thinnest upper on any Vapor from probably since the Superfly 1, which is a really thin upper. But the upper on this Vapor is super thin and super flexible. You can see when I press down on the shoe how soft this shoe is. Really, it's impressive. Like, you can just press down any area. It's really effortless. It's super, super soft. And right out of the box, it's soft like that. This has got about 4 hours on them already, but you can tell just the material is fantastic. It has this little suede touch finish on the outside of it. It's almost like this peach fuzz, really unique feel to it. It does pick up scuffs quite easily, but the feel on the ball is really nice. It adds just that little bit of grip without being sticky. I guess that's how you would explain it. But it's super thin. It really wraps your foot really well. The toe box is a lot lower. Really custom fit. I feel like this shoe fits really well. Also, take note that this shoe does fit a lot narrower than past Vapors do. The adizero itself kind of fits a little bit wider. This is definitely a more narrow shoe. You can see how narrow cut it is in the midfoot here. But really solid fitting shoe. Small toe box, which is great. And again, the upper super soft. This is probably the first Vapor that you can really wear out of the box into a game without any issues, which is great. I guess the other thing to talk about is weight with these two shoes. The adizero in the synthetic with the comfort insole in weighs about 6.35 ounces in a size 9 US, which is definitely still super light. Not as light as past adizeros, but really light. And then you can expect a little bit more, about 6.7, 6.8, even 6.9, I believe, in the leather adizeros. I'm not going to weigh them for you. The Nike Mercurial Vapor 8, weighs in at 6.7 ounces. I weighed it myself, and it does actually weigh 6.7 ounces in a size 9 US, which is incredibly impressive and pretty much on par with the adizeros as far as I'm concerned, especially the leather ones, because that seems to be the most popular. Definitely a little bit lighter than past Vapors, and definitely on par with the adizeros in terms of weight. So if that's your deal, you're not going to have that kind of difference in weight anymore. They're pretty much on par now. The last thing to talk about is definitely the stud pattern and the sole plates on these shoes. The Vapor 8 uses this really unique glass fiber sole plate that has this really strange cut in it, and then the stud pattern is, this whole shoe is just really unique. I feel like it's something completely new that nobody's ever done before, and it really does work well. You get these two studs in the back, which is just totally unusual for a firm ground shoe, because this, keep in mind, this is a firm ground shoe you can use on, it is made for firm ground. It's not a soft ground shoe, but there's only 2 studs in the back, which is really great. But I don't know if you can't usually see them in the pictures. Let's see if you can see it on camera. There's actually these kind of little runoff things on the side, so it's almost like one giant stud as opposed to having just 2. But no stability issues, nothing like that. Even on turf, this shoe is very turf friendly. Surprisingly, I was a little bit surprised. But you notice when you do stand on a hard surface, it does feel a little bit weird. But on the ground or on the turf, it feels fantastic. Provides plenty of traction and stability. And then the studs in the front, you'll notice that the shoe sits almost on 4 studs. This one, this one, this one, and this one. While this one is kind of for grabbing, and this one is kind of a support thing in the middle. It's really unique, and again, it really puts a lot of weight on these 4 studs. And there's no stud pressure or anything like that, but because there's so much weight on these bladed studs, you get a lot of multi-directional grip, which is great. You can really push off really hard without having any issues with slipping, which is fantastic to see. You still get this same little texturized thing at the front, but the actual sole plate itself is glass fiber, really lightweight. And again, it comes really thin in the middle here. It almost bulges out just to keep that stiffness in the middle. You notice that the shoe's really stiff if you do try and flex it backwards, so plenty of stiffness when you do strike the ball. There's actually 2 layers. You can see that it's slightly darker here. There's actually a second layer of glass fiber, while the front part stays nice and flexible right out of the box. Really great stud pattern, really great sole plate. You can wear it right out of the box, no problem. It's definitely not as stiff as past Vapors. The Adizero, though, uses what they call a sprint frame. It's a 1-piece plastic sole, including the heel counter here. And basically what it is a very lightweight plastic, a little bit thicker than past Adizeros, a little bit stiffer. I actually would say it's probably almost as stiff as the Vapor sole plate, but not quite there yet. It's thin, there's no stud pressure issues, nothing like that, but really solid sole plate. I really have no issues with it at all. While the studs on here are these triangular studs, they're on the longer side for sure. I'm not a huge fan of this sole plate stud pattern, to be completely honest. It definitely works. It's a great stud pattern, especially if you are going to be playing on softer ground sometimes. If you want that one stud pattern that's going to work on soft and harder ground, this is one to use. It's definitely turf friendly. You're not going to have any issues with that. It's kind of that mix between blades and conical studs, but I'm definitely leaning more towards conical studs in terms of how it actually feels. The blades, again, a little bit, I would say the studs are a little bit long for turf, but that's kind of a preference thing. A lot of people do use these on turf and have no issues with them. But there you go, guys. That is the comparison between the Nike Mercurial Vapor 8 and the Adidas F50 Adizero. If you guys want me to compare the Nike Mercurial Vapor 8 to any other shoes on the market, I know they're brand new. A lot of you guys want to see some comparison videos. I'll be happy to do that. If you are wondering which one was my favorite, I have to say the Nike Mercurial Vapor 8 really is a fantastic shoe. It really impressed me. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did, but I really did like this shoe. Fantastic shoe. Again, the full written review for the Adizero is already up on the website. I'll leave a link in the description to the leather and the synthetic review, while the Vapor 8 review will be up soon. If you didn't see an annotation at the start of the video to say that the full written review is up, it will be up when the written review is up. So you'll see an annotation if it is up, if you are watching this video a little later on. Any questions you have, go ahead and ask them on my Facebook page. And also, if you're interested in checking out the super deals section on my website, there's a brand new European as well as a North American section. Essentially what it is all the best deals online from all the best retailers, kind of compiled together into one page, so you can really check out what the best deals online are and probably steal yourself a really good deal. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.